Hi, I'm Ben from ZKS. Today we're going to be talking about how to make a fist and how to punch. So I'm going to show you really quickly things you can do at home with your children. There's things that we do in class as well. So here's how it is. Really simple. When we make a fist, we curl our fingers over, we put our thumb over the top. Now the children tend to find this a little bit tricky, and we always find them do this and they punch like this in class. So what I want you to do at home and to help them is to use a little analogy. Now in lessons, I like to have a little sort of a memory game for them, and really simple. Make your knuckles, or knuckle mountain as I like to call it. Your thumb is the mountain climber. He climbs up the mountains, and that's where the mountain climber lives. He doesn't live in the cave. So when you do it, okay, that should help them remember, where does a mountain climber go? Up the mountain. Where does he not go? In the cave. When the term starts, we're going to want our children, especially in our first term in September, to use sparring equipment. Now these are kumite mitts, or boxing gloves. Now these ones are really great for the kids because it's simple for them to put on and they can pretty much do it on their own. I'm going to show you how to put them on in a second. Now we do like to have all of our students to have these. They cost £15 and they're definitely worth getting. Now I'm going to show you a little bit later how to put these gloves on. Another piece of equipment that's really good for home, I'll just get my assistant to pass them over, are focus pads. Now focus pads again are great for home use. It means that you can actually work with the children at home, and of course that gives them more practice time outside of class. Really simple. These mini focus mitts, simply place in your hand like so, you hold them and then you can also use them for their techniques. I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later. We're going to put the gloves on now and we're going to show you how we want the children to work. I'm going to use the focus pads and Archie's going to be using the gloves. I'm going to show you some first techniques that we get the kids to do. So first off, Archie, can you put the gloves on please? As I said earlier on in our last clip, they're really simple to pop on. Now, if they do struggle, I'm just going to point out a couple of things. You can help them out. Now, when they first put them on, there's two like elasticated straps here that you just pop 2 fingers in each. The thumb doesn't actually have any padding on at all. Again, we use these gloves because they're so much easier to pop on than a standard boxing glove. Right, Archie, would you mind popping on the other one? Right, while he's doing that, I'm going to get the focus pads. Now, they're sold in pairs, and it doesn't matter which hand they go on. The glove part goes on left or right, it doesn't really matter. What I want to cover with you guys is to make sure that you hold them properly for your children. Now, first off, let's talk about what they need to do. We need to talk about guard or stances. So when we talk about that, we want to make sure that their weaker hand, so if they're right-handed, their left leg would be in front. So I'm going to get Archie to do that. So can you put your left leg in front for me so the guys can see in the camera? Excellent. So this is a guarding stance, as we would call it, or a fighting stance. We're going to look at a jab cross combination. So a jab punch is always done off the lead leg, so the leg that's in front, which is our left, and then the cross is done off the back hand, and I'll show you in a second as well. So I'm going to get Archie just to face me, so I'm going to get him to go into his guard. Okay, so you're going to get them set up. I'm going to hold the pads so they're touching and they're here. Now obviously, as you can see, I'm Archie's level so that he can obviously work on these. If obviously him standing up, he then got to punch up. You want them, their head height. So I'm holding him here. So jab cross goes something like this. He's going to punch my right hand because he's got his right leg in front. So jab, and then I put my left hand next to it, and then he crosses to do that punch like so. Okay, so one more time, jab, cross. Okay. What you might find is you might start to do this because you want to watch what they're doing. Try not to do that. Try and keep the pads together at all times. Okay, once you get the hang of it, you can obviously stand up and see over the pads, like so. Right, that's the first bit. Some important facts and things we need to talk about, which we'll zoom on in a second, is footwork. Really important that they get this right. So footwork, really important part of punching and kicking. So we want to make sure that the front knee is bent and the back leg is also slightly bent as well. In a classical karate sense, we would always have the back leg straight, but for when we're sparring, which is what we do mostly in lesson, we try and make sure that the back knee is slightly bent as well. Now, when we get them to move, we get them to travel forwards and backwards. We don't want them to exchange or change their footwork. We don't want to cross their legs. So if we just get Archie to do that for you, so he's going to bounce forwards and backwards. Okay, forwards and backwards, that's it. So the idea is you want to try and keep as much contact with the ground at all times. Okay, so once you've included that, we can include the punches at the same time. So now we've worked a little bit on footwork. Let's put the pad and hand work together with the footwork. So you're going to hold the pads and they're going to come in jab, cross. Okay, they're going to slide forwards and backwards. So jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Excellent, good stuff. So next time we're together, we're going to talk about kicking, and obviously that comes in with what we've done so far today. I'd like to say a big thank you to Archie for helping me out today. And remember, if you want to get your focus pads or your gloves, okay, then you can get them from your instructor, or obviously give us a call at ZKS Martial Arts. Thanks very much.